I was born in Germany, Hanover, which is very German, and I started as a drummer. So after a few years playing drums, I joined a band, and it was a big band, and they already had 2 drummers. So I had to wait until my tune came up for the rehearsal to play. And I was bored, so I said I want to play something else. I went to a music store, and the music store said, you can play percussion. It's a little bit similar to drums, and you have rhythm, and then you can play even if there's a drummer playing already. So that was a great idea. And the guy sold me a Latin percussion cabasa. And I started to play, and I practiced, and I liked the instrument. And then after a few weeks, I played it in every song. So then the band leader said, wow, it's amazing how much different sounds you can play from the cabasa. You shake it and you make different things. But please don't play it in every song. And then I realized that it's not only about playing all the time, but also about like painting colors, making different sounds in different songs. For example, giving a rhythm with a shaker like this. Okay, that's a nice thing, but you don't want to play it in all the songs. Even if you change the sound, you have a different sound. But then that's 2 songs, and then you should play something else. So then I started to play cowbell and triangle and tambourine, all this stuff. And mainly it was like Earth, Wind and Fire, that kind of music. So that was not Latin or Brazilian oriented, it was pop music. And also I played jazz in the big band. So I liked that so much, and I was one of the first players in Germany to be able to play all these different kind of songs, because I knew them from a drummer point of view. And most percussion players, like you said, they played Brazilian or Latin style or African, and I didn't. I was fortunate enough, as I said, to be one of the first in Germany, and especially in Hanover, to do that. And people, when they had a new record out, like a blues band, they never played with a percussionist, but they said, we make a new record and we want you to play triangle, or cabasa, or tambourine. And later, some years later, the Scorpions called me. They said, we need some cowbell groove and tambourine. It shouldn't be too difficult. Just do it so that the singer maybe can do it on stage as well. Very simple rhythms, but to give it a new color and sound. And yeah, and I like it. I like to play one day with a soul band, and one day with a Latin band, and one day with a swing or with a rock band. And I think percussion is so versatile, like drums. You can play it in every band. Well, that's a very good question, but that everybody has to answer himself. When I played jazz, I would listen to jazz, and I would practice 5-6 hours jazz every day. So I was very committed to that kind of music. But that was like for 2, 3, 4 years. And then I said, okay, there must be something else. So when I started to play Latin, I played a lot of Latin as well. But I was really in music so much that I didn't care about practicing 7-8 hours every day, 7 days a week. But if somebody doesn't have so much time, he has to find out what he wants to do. Is it becoming a very famous drummer, or very famous musician or percussionist, whatever? And if he wants to become famous, does he want to become famous with a band or as a solo player? If you play with as a solo player, you have to play different styles, because otherwise the audience will be bored after a while. If you play with a band and you want to become a good jazz player or a good rock player, you have to concentrate on that for a couple of years. Otherwise you can't really become very good. Of course, the best is to listen to a lot of music and to go to concerts, to listen to all kinds of bands. If you're, let's say jazz, for example, if you like jazz, there's different kinds of jazz. There's swing, there's modern jazz, there's more kind of free jazz, there's old-fashioned, there's Dixieland. So if you listen to different bands, then you can start to imitate the drummer or the percussion player or the kind of music you're playing. And by imitating, you are growing up very much. But if you limitate yourself too much, if you say, I just play one kind of music, I think there will be a point when you cannot get any further. As a drummer, I always had a teacher. It started like the first time I hit a drum, it was with a teacher, but it was a whole drum set, not only a snare drum, a whole drum set. It was in a room with a really nice sound. So he was playing like doom 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 gag, and I said, wow, that's it, I want to do that. So I learned rhythms right away, not just paradiddles, double stroke rolls, which are boring after a while. This came later, but first I tried to just have one rhythm that I can play and just listen to myself. And then when I started percussion, I thought I was a star already in the drum business, and I didn't look for a teacher. But after I started with the small percussion, I started playing bongos and congas, and my hands hurt so much, and I didn't really play very loud. So I decided, okay, I'm not a star, I'm just a beginner. So I went to different teachers, and one very important teacher was from Trinidad. His name was Martin James, and he showed me how to play like soul and funk music, which I liked a lot. And then I found another teacher, his name was Freddy Santiago from Puerto Rico, and he showed me all different kinds of ways you can put the conga drum into music. If you play Latin, you play like this. If you play jazz, you play like this. And he also showed me how to play without hurting my hands. So I don't have rough skin, and I can play every day. I play every day still. If I don't have a concert, I practice at home, and my hands don't hurt. And I can play loud, and they don't hurt. So I think when you want to learn a sport or music, which is kind of similar, you can always do it yourself, but you learn much faster if you have a teacher. And if you have a good teacher, he shows you what not to do, like hurting your hands. So if you're a drummer and you're playing like this, maybe you feel that's the way you're doing, but after a while your shoulder will hurt. So it's better to sit up straight and play like this. When I learned a lot from one teacher, I tried to find another one to show me something different. So then I went to a Brazilian teacher and an African teacher, and after I learned what they showed me, I forgot all the names of the rhythms and just tried to put these rhythms into my way of thinking, into my way of playing music. What you do, you copy somebody and then you make it your own. Because there's already Steve Gadd and there's Bernard Purdy, and nobody can really copy them. You can try, but then if you're on stage and somebody says you sound like Steve Gadd or like Bernard Purdy, yeah, it's a compliment, but on the other hand, they want to see the original. So when they say, oh, you have a great groove, you're really doing fine, because you found something in yourself to mix with this copy, that's the best thing. And I think, especially as a drummer and a percussionist, you have a lot of freedom in the music. The way you set up your drums, if you put a cowbell here, or if you put a tambourine, or if you play a lot of shaker, it always is up to you. Most time of the music, you create the music, and then you can of course just say, okay, I don't like to play like this, I play like this, and then it's your own style. And me liking just to play by myself also, I started to put a drum set and a percussion set and everything together and just play. So I play one rhythm with one hand on the tom-tom, for example, and I play another rhythm on the conga with the other hand. And then it becomes more musical. And then you start to listen also. Like when you play with 3-4 toms or 3-4 congas, you can play melodies. It doesn't have to be boom, all the time. Can be doom, 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 doom. So by doing
a melodic part.
Yeah, by doing a melodic part just by yourself, you really create a lot of, I would say, specialty about yourself. And that's why people call you and give you a job, because you are a little bit different than somebody else.
And that's important.
Yes. But one thing is also important when you play with a band. Of course, you have to try to fit into the music. Like when you are young, you practice a rhythm. You want to play that rhythm when you have rehearsal or on the concert. So you play, and some place I practice this. You put it there, and many times it doesn't fit. But when you get older, you you try to have more respect to the other musicians as well. So when they give you room, you can fill the room with something. If they don't give you room, you're just keeping the rhythm, because that's what the drummer is for. I have two different kits. One is a drum and a percussion kit mixed in one thing. That is the percussion is made from the Latin percussion company, and the drum is made from DW, and the cymbals I use are Zildjian cymbals, and I have Sennheiser microphones and everything. I play this either sitting or standing, and I have 2 bass drums, or I have 1 bass drum with a double pedal, and the bass drum has a bass woofer in front, so it has a lot of deep bass sound. And then I have the snare drum right in the middle, and I have the congas on the side, and I have timbales on the other side, and then small toms and cymbals all over the place. So it looks like a drum set, but also it has like bongos and congas and timbales. And I play them with sticks. You can play bongos with sticks, no problem. Or I play them with my hands if I want a slower, more delicate sound.
Yes.
And if I only play percussion, I always play standing, because I like to move with the band and I like to see the audience also. So then I have 3 congas always on stands, and I have bongos, because bongos and congas is very good if you have both. You have different sounds, or you can have one hand playing the bongos and the other hand playing the congas.
Yeah.
And then I have about 3-4 big boxes of small percussion toys, like these shakers, tambourines. I always bring 3 or 4 different tambourines for different songs. One is with brass, one is with chrome jingles, so they have different sounds, so you can play a soft tune or a fast tune. Yes, absolutely. When I started playing, I had to really look for teachers. I had to see somebody on a concert and then ask him, do you give lessons? And today, it's such a great variety of music schools all over Europe. And like in every major city, there's a music school, and with a drum teacher and with a percussion teacher. And I think there's such a great chance today for everybody who starts to play. You can buy videos, you can buy DVDs, you have books. I mean, for a very small amount of money, you can have all the knowledge. Like the first teacher that was really, really very good that I had after many years of different teachers, he charged about €100 for 1 hour. So today for €100 you can buy 2 videos, and that's like 6 hours of percussion lesson. But today I think it's very good, and I feel the percussion market is really still growing. Everybody in Europe, and I've played in Austria, Switzerland, France, and Italy as well. So I feel it's the same as in Germany. Everybody really likes percussion and drumming, and there's more drumming festivals than guitar festivals. If you have a trade show, like say you have the newest cars, if there's music, maybe there's 2 or 3 people playing on drums. So it's really growing, and that's a good chance for all of us, because there is always a niche, always a place where you can fit in and make money of music. And as a drummer, you will always have work, and I think it's the best thing that you have a hobby and you make money of it. This is the Planet Drum Groove.
I had a friend named Martin James from Trinidad. He always used to say the most important thing is to create create your own style, no matter what they say. Is to create your own style, no matter what they say.
Yeah.